be saved, because surely Allah would not combine or bring together two fears on one slave. And then he, rahimahullah, Imam Ghazali, went on to say that this fear is a fear that is a desired one. It is not the fear that should make the individual cry and shake. Tears fall out of the eyes. He or she moans and sobs, and then the following day, they go back to their normal life. They feel trembling in their heart one moment, and then the other moment, they forget it. But it should be the fear that stays with the individual and would help that person not return to needless sport and play. It is almost like a person, as the Imam rahimahullah said, it's like a person who is stranded in the desert.
Bam. Reaching the words of Assalamu alaikum, which means peace and blessings be upon you. And I mentioned both Jesus and Muhammad's names, peace be upon them both, because they were both messengers of truth and reality. And you're looking at the Underground Railroad TV show. Me and Alderman Jones come on every Saturday night, Central Time, 10:30 p.m. And you can catch me and Alderman Virgil Jones on YouTube 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And thank you for the tremendous response from the community. I appreciate it. And today my guest is Alderman Virgil Jones. Shalom.
Shalom.
Okay.
Peace.
Okay.
Islam.
Thank you, brother, and thank you for always sitting on my right-hand side. I appreciate that. And, tell people something about yourself, please.
Well, there's really nothing to tell about me, because the most important being is the Lord of all the worlds. Some call him God, some call him Allah, some call him Yahweh, some call him Yahweh. But they're all saying that this is the one that created the whole planet and the whole universe, yes, all 606 different universes.
Yes, sir. Your Moorish temple is at, I don't know if you want to give that address.
That's not important.
Okay.
They can find it if they look for it.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. And today, the subject matter, we're going to just talk about a variety of subject matters. And I want to thank everybody out there again for supporting Underground Railroad, whether you live on South Side, the East Side, or whether you're in Central America, Asia, Europe, or Canada, because I know that you are looking at these shows over the internet. And Alderman, we've gotten tremendous responses from overseas and the United States of America. And I'm just appreciative, do you think that YouTube has helped us to grow and where we can't be trivialized anymore the way we just seen in Chicago? Do you think it has benefited us or been an impediment to us?
Well, I think that, the majority of the people in the world are not asleep. A lot of people in America, they have dumbed them down so they will go to sleep. Mm-hmm. So they can't do the things that they want to do to them to keep them asleep.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's a possibility that with YouTube and with Google's and with Facebook and all this, that it can be such a problem to where people that are enemies, that don't want truth to be exposed, it can be harmful to us by disseminating this good information by people that are on the outside working to destroy the good people?
Well, my dear brother, I must tell you this. I believe in the Lord of all the worlds, whose proper and true name is Allah.
Yes.
All right? I believe that I am, in fact, as you are, and many other people, when I explain it, they're all Muslims if they want to be righteous
Yes.
and do what's right. If they don't want to do that, then they're not Muslims. I don't care if they go around talking about the religion of al-Islam.
I mean, you know what? As we talk about these different social, they're different social networks.
So I had to say that to say
Okay.
this, brother. The only one that I fear is Allah.
Yes.
I don't fear no man until, as in the Quran, it says, when I see a man who can stop a fly in the air and turn him around and make him go a different direction. See, you should never fear one who can destroy the body. You should only fear the one who can destroy the soul
Yes,
and
sir.
could have you perpetually in hell.
Yes, sir. Do you feel that the people with Facebook, with Twitter, with Link, and all these different social networks that are online, do you feel that the people are volunteering too much information about their personal lives that's being farmed out and sent to other people that are dealing with marketing? And do you feel that our civil liberties, our civil liberties are being taken away? Do you feel that we're aiding and assisting by joining all these social networks?
I don't believe in civil liberties. First of all, I believe in human liberties and human rights. Civil liberties are limited and only deal with what's going on here in America. I'm not a person of just America. I deal with international stuff. And that means that I'm a world citizen.
But you don't feel that these social networks are a danger to
See,
the
they
people?
were set up intentionally for that purpose. You know, if you think for 1 minute they're going to allow all this information to be able to go all over the world. You know, Henry Ford, who put slaves in the North with his Ford company, Henry Ford said this. He also wrote a book called about the Jews.
Yes, sir.
And the book he wrote, I tell you, upset a lot of people. They took him all the way to the Supreme Court so he could never print that book again. Never again. There are copies that you can get that other people have copied from the book that he printed. And I'm not talking about the religion. I'm talking about the Khazars who have covered themselves up with the Jewish religion, which is a religion that has many, many, many good people in it.
Can you explain what Khazars is? Because you know what, I'm gonna be truthful here, I don't know what that means.
Well, the Khazars
Okay.
was a wild nomadic tribe that was up around Russia, Poland, all right?
Okay.
And the Khazars, during the War of the Crusades, did trading, all right, with the Europeans that were going down into Jerusalem. And they were wild and nomadic. They had a king, his name was King Bulan,
Yes, sir.
B-U-L-A-N. And King Bulan, what he did was, he traded with the Europeans because they didn't have no religion, the Khazars.
Yes, sir.
Zero religion. And then they didn't want to become a Christian. They didn't want to become a Muslim, because if they did, then when they had another crusade war, then they wouldn't be able to make money off of them. So they manufactured a religion of the Israelites. Notice what I said. The Israelites,
Yes.
called Judaism, from one tribe of the 12 tribes of the Israelites. And they took on that particular tribe's religion that you call today Judaism,
Yes, sir.
which came from the tribe of Judah. And they could not have been Jews or part of that tribe because They were in North Africa, in the sun. And those people over in Israel, they don't call themselves Israelites. They call themselves Jews.
So, you know, as you said that, and we talk about Israel, there's a war, there's an internal war that is going on. I can't say sectarian violence because that's two religious groups fighting each other, but there's violence that is going on right now in Palestine and something that's going on in Israel. So, who is right?
Well,
who is wrong?
I'm going to just put it out there, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Let's deal with the truth.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I practice, is telling the truth.
Yes.
And it's going to mess up a lot of folks, and a lot of folks are going to be angry.
Yes.
The war and the fighting over there ain't about what you all think it is. There's a temple over there called the Temple of Omar. And down in the basement of that temple, in a room that's 6 feet wide, 6 feet long, and 6 feet deep, is a body that's jet black with white hair. Now, I guess you can figure out whose body that is. That was embalmed by the Egyptians to last for 2,300 years, which was the body of Yeshua, or as they call him, Jesus Christ. And that's what, because he who has control over that body can control the world.
Now, let me ask you something.
Don't get nervous because I said that.
You make a statement like that.
Yeah, because they don't want the world to know. People over there know the truth already. You can't go see that body unless you go see the Pope.
You make a statement like that. What would you just say of somebody that is a different religious denomination that says that he saw Jesus, peace and blessings be upon him, never died on the cross, but it was somebody that was made to appear like him that died on the cross, but his body was lifted up into the heavens.
Well, first of all, brother, that's all a bunch of myth stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I learned the truth, tears came into my eyes, started running down my cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first of all, when you look at it, clouds only exist 12,000 miles above the surface of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
That being true, all right,
Mm-hmm.
whether you think the spaceship that went out into space and it was re-entering burned up,
Mm-hmm.
now how are you going to send a man-made body? And if you truly study the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
I study all the holy books. When you truly study the Bible, it specifically says that flesh and blood cannot enter into heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Bible said that, Mary found the baby inside of her. She didn't find the baby coming down out of the sky.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to understand a different perspective, but this information didn't come out the Bible, it came out the Quran.
Well, the Quran says the same thing. The Quran says the same thing.
Basically, you would say that what's written in the Quran is a misconception.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm asking.
No, I did not say that.
Okay.
You know, Yeshua said that there's another messenger coming before he died. And they said he was walking on top of a mountain. And then when he was walking on top of a mountain, it said a cloud passed by. Am I correct?
That I don't know.
Well, that's what it said in the Bible.
Okay.
And
But I was talking
in the Quran, it says very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me tell you, do you really know what crucifixion is? I studied it.
I presume to know, but educate.
There's a book that a medical doctor wrote about
Mm-hmm.
crucifixion.
Mm-hmm.
He researched it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to get you the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can understand when Yeshua, whether he's in the Koran or whatever, he said, Father, can you take this cup away from me? You remember hearing that before? He said, I don't want to die. These folks want to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that. You know why he said that?
Wow.
Because what crucifixion was is where you lift the body up into the air. That's why they always use the phrase, they used it as a tree. They placed him on a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And they dropped you down through the anus, through this point on the top of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes throughout your body
Yes.
and rips and tears up every organ inside of you. And then they use a beam to hold you in place so your body did not rip off. All right? That's crucifixion.
Yes.
Because you know, and it's insulting to me that you would believe, or even those who practice Christianity, or those who practice Judaism, that a man could be nailed with nails in his hands, nails in his feet, and then he would hold on to some wood that didn't come into existence until 693.
Yeah.
That's when that cross that you see, all right, came into existence. Yeah. It was a tree that they impaled you on. You know what impaling is.
But you know what? Because I want to ask the question in a different way. Okay. Would you say, because I heard you say something about the body lifting, would you say that that's a misconception that Muslims have by saying that Esau, peace and blessings be upon him, that his body was lifted up into the heavens and it was made to be somebody to make him look like it was him on that cross, because it was not for the messenger to die in that way. Would you say that Muslims, I'm asking
when they impaled,
objectively.
when they impaled him on that piece of wood, he said something that nobody paid attention to. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
So it was just a misconception.
So that wasn't Yeshua on that wood. I'm gonna just tell you from what I have learned. All right, that wasn't him. They took the wrong person, because they didn't even know how he looked when they came into the Garden of Gethsemane. They had to bring Judas with him, and he had to kiss him on his cheek so that they would know this is the one.
I'm sorry, y'all just got into a religious conversation.
Well,
I like talking about
it's truth.
Okay.
It's truth. It ain't no religion, because that's what rules and controls the whole world. All right? You know, the Pope is the ruler of the whole world. Why do you think all these leaders go visit him?
Bow down then.
They go see him because he's the ruler of the whole planet.
Yes, sir.
That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
And he set up what's known as an express trust.
Okay.
In order to control all the land, no matter where on the planet Earth.
Now you see, you were saying something about Palestine and Israel. You said there's a body of Yeshua there. But I want to ask you, who's entitled, from your perspective, who's entitled to that land that Israel and Palestine is fighting over? Who has entitlement to it, in your opinion?
Well, there's a part of the story over there that they don't tell you all. You have to go back and get you a Life magazine from 1948. When you get that Life magazine, you will discover that the Palestinians were given land when they made that decision, and so was, all right, those members of the Khazars. They were given some land. The only thing was the fighting over there was so they could take the land that the Palestinians had been given. All they had to do was say, all right, you got your share, we got our share. Now, ain't no reason for us to be fighting, because we cousins anyway.
So there should be no internal conflict whatsoever.
But they came to take the land. See, land is the basis of all power. All power. If you don't have no land, you don't have no power. See, it's just like this place here called America. This land here belonged to the Moors. And this was in reality the real Morocco.
Yes, sir.
Because the country over there called Morocco didn't come into existence until 1956.
Yes, sir.
So if that country didn't come into existence till then, where was the real Morocco? Right here, as we sit here on this land that belonged to our ancestors. They know the truth, but they're not going to tell you.
What is this whole thing with the United Nations carving up this land and giving it to the so-called Zionists?
Well, let me make it very clear to the public. There's a difference between a person who practices the religion of Abraham, Moses, even as you call him Jesus, Yeshua. There's a difference between them and Zionists. Zionists have they have a military and political agenda.
Yes.
Those who practice the religion of Judaism don't. They have many people over in Israel right now. They don't believe in that stuff that them Zionists be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Zero. They have no belief in it.
Yes.
And they don't look like you and I. Am I correct?
Yes, sure.
See, but the public doesn't know that. They think that Zionists and Jews are one and the same, and that's the biggest lie that's ever been told.
Would you say that the United Nations was right to sanction out a gerrymander a piece of land for somebody that did not even
But when you get
originate?
when you get that Life magazine that I told you about
Mm-hmm.
from 1948, which I have read and I have a copy stowed away, and in that magazine, it specifically made very, very clear that they were going to put Israel where the Congo is today.
Yes.
And they changed their mind because it wouldn't be able to tell the lie that the Khazars have told about who they are and their descendants. All right? If they put it in the central part of Africa.
Yes.
They just wanted some land. And they're a nuclear power in the Middle East.
Yes, sir.
They talk about all these other countries not having nuclear weapons and etc. You'll never hear them say that about the state of Israel. Now, I ain't saying nothing about Jews.
Yes, sir.
There's a difference between Jews, all right, and Khazars,
Yes, sir.
who later on became what you call Zionists.
Yes, sir.
That is a political, all right, and economic group. Just that some of them happen to be a part of the religion of Judaism,
Yes, sir.
but not all of them.
Yes, sir. You know what, Alderman? I know that you're well read, and you know what? There are people that are looking at you all over the world. 'Cause I see the comments on Facebook. Can you give them some recommendations of some books that they might go to the library to read?
Well, I think
Give them a little summary.
everyone must read a book called The Protocol of the Learned Elders of Zion. And in the protocol, for example, of the Learned Elders of Zion, it has all the rules that they used in order to control and run everything in the world.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things is, for example, the first protocol says, right is an abstract. It does not even exist. We rule because we have the might, not because we're right.
Yes, sir.
And people think they're in all these secret societies and all of that stuff. They tell you right in the book, we put people in all of that stuff at the top so we could be in charge and control what they think is a secret.
Yes, sir.
That is not a secret.
Yes, sir.
All right? And once if you read the Protocol of the Learned Elders of Zion, I would recommend that they read a book called by a brother who lives in Baltimore. It's about that thick.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the autobiography of the noble Drew Ali.
Yes, sir.
The Human of a Nation. Once you read that, you'll be shocked what you'll find out. I mean, totally shocked.
Yes, sir.
Because you'll find out that you've been lied to about a bunch of things. And this is just not something that they talk about. They got pictures. They got pictures of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Farad Muhammad, Marcus Garvey. They were all together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But you can't get people to understand that.
No, people don't understand it.
Or to believe it. They'll say it's a lie.
Actually, I had to be honest with you. When you showed me the picture, I didn't realize it my own self.
Well,
thank you for showing the picture to me.
Well, the picture was Elijah Poole Bay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was his original name.
Yes, sir. You have a specific message that you want to convey to the people, because we got 1 minute left.
Well, you know, I would like all the young people, all the old people to remember that slaves used to be killed for reading. And if you read, you will learn the stuff that they hide from you yourself.
Yes, sir.
My father only went to the 4th grade in grammar school. He told me, he said, boy, if I could read like you, he said, I would read 2 books every week. And I said, you're right.
Yes.
I'll do that for you.
Yes. Shalom, brother.
Shalom, my brother.
Assalamu alaikum to everybody, and you know what, the Underground Railroad comes on every Saturday night at 10:30. You can catch us on YouTube. Just put Miat Alderman's name in and press video. Assalamu alaikum.
And he said, A'udhu billah, I seek refuge in Allah with this fortress to protect me from the wild beasts. But he sat there out in front of the fortress, only saying, A'udhu billah, bihadha al-husn al-hasin, and he never went inside. And so the beast ate him up, because he only made his isti'adha, but he did not act upon it. And he did not actually seek the protection that the fortress actually gave. And so as it tells us, as Allah tells us in Surah Al-Dhariyat, verse 50, فَفِرُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنِّي لَكُمْ نَذِيرٌ مُبِينٌ. And run, escape to Allah, for surely I am a clear warner. And so the Prophet, peace be upon him, was told to tell his followers that you should escape to Allah. So you don't escape into nothingness, into depression or oppression or hayat ad-dunya, but escape to Allah. Firru ilallah. And so we found ourselves with the soul leaving the body. This is a very sacred moment. And there are many hadiths, many traditions. Many scholars have looked into this. Alhamdulillah, in these times, 2 great scholars of hadith and Islamic studies, Sheikh Nasiruddin al-Albani, in a book called Kitab al-Janaiz, the book of janazas, and Sheikh Umar al-Ashqa in his book Al-Yawm al-Akhir. They did a tremendous job in sifting through the traditions to find those that are authentic traditions, so that we would not be put into a state of fear with something that was not true. We would not be told a story that was a fairy tale. But we would be